Magandang araw po sa ating lahat. Kami po ang Mulawin Group at narito po kami upang i-discuss ang integrating active learning approaches in language learning. At meron po itong different approaches, ang inquiry-based learning, research, problem, project-based learning. At nadagdag po natin dito ang role of technology upang makita natin kung ano ang trabaho ng teknolohiya sa mga approaches na ito. At sisimulan pong i-discuss sa atin ni Jay sa may kabakungan ang inquiry-based learning.
Okay, so I will be discuss the inquiry-based learning. Inquiry-based learning defines students are encouraged to ask questions, investigate issues, and develop research skills to explore social phenomena. Inquiry-based learning, it entails more than simply asking students more than what they want to know. This is a teaching and learning strategy that emphasizes students' questions, ideas, and observation. And for that, teachers should aggressively encourage a student to communicate their perspectives, participate in their group works to learn from their peers, and of course, participate in guided learning. So let's proceed to the inquiry-based learning or some characteristics. 1. A focus on problem solving and critical thinking. 2. A focus on developing each individual's skills and knowledge. Ito ay isang pagtuon sa pagbuo ng bawat individual na mga kasanayan at kaalaman. Dito na pumapasok ang kanilang curiosity, ang kanilang pagbuo ng katanungan kung paano o bakit. Ang mga mag-aaral ay mas nagiging critical thinker sa pamamagitan ng pagtatanong. Natututo silang mag-adapt ng mga bagong impormasyon sa paglutas ng problema at mas lalo silang nagiging creative sa kung ano ang mga proseso o techniques na kanilang isasagawa sa mga bagay na gusto nilang malaman. Ang susunod naman ay ang importance ng inquiry-based learning. Inquiry-based learning is a pedagogical model that emphasizes students-led and self-directed learning. It emphasizes the use of open-ended questions to stimulate student interest, generate ideas, and build understanding. The benefits of this approach, inquiry-based learning, is to include increased engagement, better understanding, and more innovation. In addition, inquiry-based learning can help students learn in a more effective and efficient manner by providing them with opportunities to explore multiple perspectives and sources of information. For example, some students raise their hand to ask questions, and by that, they have gained more information and understanding as the result of their inquiries or inquiry. And most significantly, they grab the things about which they are enjoy. So, ngayong nalaman na natin ang importance ng inquiry-based learning, ay patungkol saan naman ang research-based learning na tatalakayin naman ni John Kevin.
Okay, so dumako naman tayo sa research-based learning. When we say research-based learning, parang ang unang naiisip natin, internet, because it came from the word search. We search from the internet. Pero ang sabi dito, it is a specific approach to classroom teaching that places less emphasis on teacher-centered learning of content and facts but greater emphasis on student as active learner. Ang linaw naman, di ba, na ang research-based learning ay isang student center wherein student must benefit the said strategy. They become more flexible in inquiring or seeking information. Student become more intense in finding solution to a specific problem, question, or challenges. So, ibig sabihin, andyan pa rin yung inquiring, yung pagtatanong, that is used to address the problem that are included in a research-based learning. So, ibig sabihin, sa research-based learning, nananatili pa rin ang problem at inquiring, wherein the problem is the main focus and inquiring is a tool to seek or to address the said problem. Okay? Ngayon, bakit nga ba ito naiiba at paano nga ba ito naiiba sa ibang approach? Sabi dito, student actively search for and then use multiple resources, material, and text in order to explore important, relevant, and interesting questions and challenges. So, inulit ko, student use multiple resources like material and text. Therefore, ang research-based learning ay isang learning approach that enhance student higher order thinking skill to evaluate a reliable and valid information sa pamamagitan ng paggamit ng mga multiple resources like books, sa internet, at sa iba pa. They find, process, organize, and evaluate informations and ideas as they build reading skills and vocabulary. So, ayun nga, natututo ang mga mag-aaral na i-enhance ang kanilang skills sa pagbabasa at sa bokabularyo in doing this approach, in accomplishing this research-based learning. Sige, so dumako naman tayo sa research-based learning importance. Kung gaano nga ba kahalaga ang research-based learning. Nasabi nga natin kanina na ang research-based learning ay patungkol sa nakafocus ito sa pagresolba ng isang suliranin or isang problems. So, napakahalaga ng research-based learning kasi sa pamamagitan nito ay natutuklasan natin ang kasagutan sa isang problema. Okay, so meron tayong pruweba rito or na 5 stages of research-based na nakakatulong sa mga students. Sabi nga dito sa una, students identify and clarify issues, question, challenge, and puzzle. Okay, so sa stage na to, na nalalaman or natutukoy ng mga mag-aaral ang mga problema at question. So, ayun. Sa pangalawa, find and process information. So, student find and process information. Malinaw naman yan. So, ang pangatlo, ang pangatlo, student think critically and creatively. Okay, so, base sa ating binabasa, narito yung critically at creatively. Nabanggit ang critically at creatively wherein sa pamamagitan ng research-based learning ay nahahasa ang ating pagiging creative at yung pagiging critical thinker natin. Dahil nga sa, syempre, kapag nag-search tayo or nagre-research tayo, kailangan nating kailangan nating paganahin ang higher level thinking wherein ito yung gagamitin natin para malaman kung ano ang reliable at valid na mga information. Okay, so ang pangapat, apply knowledge and ideas and draw conclusion. Okay, so sa ikaapat ni stage naman na ito, nagiging curious na ang mga student wherein na-apply na nila sa kanilang buhay ang kanilang mga napag-aaralan. Ang panghuli, communicate result. Communicate result. Ito naman, students communicate result of their research activities. Maaring sa isang essay, maaring a problem solving, at maaari din namang pagpaplano ng action. Ayun, so natapos na natin ang kahalagahan ng research-based learning. Kaya naman, dumako naman tayo sa ikalawa. At yun ay dumako naman tayo sa para sa panghuli kong i-discuss. At ang mga estratehiya to implement based sa research-based learning. Ayon nga kay Marzano's Research-Based Strategy 2001, sinaad niya na ang una ay ang summarizing and note-taking. Oo naman, dahil sa research-based learning, mahalaga ang taking down ng mga information at pagsasummarize ng mga information dahil nagagawa nating ibuod kung ano yung mga mahalagang information na kinakailangan natin sa ating mga gawain. Okay, so pangalawa, homework and practice. Yes, isa rin itong epektibong estratehiya to implement based sa research-based learning. Kaya syempre, kapag homework na, nagkakaroon ng time ang mga mag-aaral na saliksikin pa ang patungkol sa kanilang mga gawain. At ang pangatlo, cooperative learning. O naman, syempre. Natatandaan natin ang ating research, ang ating research study noong high school hanggang sa ngayon. Nagiging ginagawa nilang group activity wherein the teacher want us to enhance the cooperative learning na natututo tayo hindi lamang sa ating sariling estratehiya in learning bagkus ay sa pamamagitan ng pag-interactions in other culture, in other perspective that are inside our own each classmates. Yung bang, kumbaga yung yung mula sa kanila. Okay, so at ang pinakapanghuli naman ay ang use question and advanced organizer. Yes. So, ngayon naman na ating napag-usapan ang research-based learning, dumako naman tayo sa isa pang approach na tatalakayin naman ng aking kasama.
Dito naman tayo sa problem-based learning. It is an approach that involves a process of inquiry and solving open-ended questions that serve as the main problem that the learners will work on. The type of question posited is focused on a specific content standard in its application to real-life issues. This means that a student-centered approach in which students learn about a subject by working in groups to solve an open-ended problem. Learners are engaged in a collaborative task as they work towards the solution to the problem. It emphasizes self-directed research, collaboration, and critical thinking, with educators often playing the role of facilitators rather than traditional lectures. Lastly, it promotes active learning. Dumako naman tayo sa problem-based learning importance. Several studies have revealed positive impacts of PBL or problem-based learning on learners as they engage in the process. First is promote self-confidence and motivation. Namamotivate sila sa mga activities in problem-based learning. Number 2, reduces students' nervousness during the learning process. Number 3, increase students' responsibility in learning. Number 4, makes students easily learn the material through sharing of ideas. Ang halimbawa nito ay group activities na kung saan lahat ng mga miyembro nito ay magbibigay ng kanilang idea tungkol sa isang lesson o paksa. Number 5 is promotes problem-solving skills. Number 6, promotes self-directed learning. Number 7, promotes active learning. Number 8, makes students explore many learning resources. And the last is number 9, makes students develop positive attitude towards learning. Dito naman tayo sa difference of problem-based learning na kung saan ito ang pagkakaiba nito sa mga ibang approach. Begins with a problem that determines what students study. The problem derives from an observable phenomena or event. Ang pagkakaiba nito sa ibang approach ay kinakailangan na ang mga students are presented with an open-ended, authentic question. Next is students analyze the question. And the last is the students seek additional data to answer the question. And lastly about problem-based learning is propose a 6-stage process used in the adoption of online PBL or problem-based learning. Number 1 is identifying the problem. Current issues that do not have just one answer or one definite solution. Number 2, brainstorming. Generate ideas, tackle the problem through self-directed questioning, arouse students' intrinsic motivation. Ito ay ang pagtatanong sa sarili o pagsa-search para sa mga idea. Number 3 is collecting and analyzing the information. Assigning group members to collect information, posting what they found and what they learned, collaborative collection is useful information. Number 4, synthesizing information, solving the problem through synthesized relevant data, knowledge building. The next is number 5, co-building knowledge, presentation of solution to the learning problem issue, and lastly, the number 6 is refining the outcomes, giving of feedback and suggestion by the instructor to help students improve learning from the other group's presentation. Malaki ang tulong nito upang mas mapabuti ang pagkatuto ng mga mag-aaral. Next naman ay dumako tayo sa problem-based learning na tatalakayin ni Princess.
At yun nga, last naman na approach na pag-uusapan natin ay ang project-based learning. Project-based learning, a teaching method that engages learners in a series of planned tasks, resulting to the generation of solutions to real-world problems. It is a student-centered approach as it takes into account the realm of experiences and interests of the students. Sunod na definitions of project-based learning is It is an instructional methodology where students work on extended projects that engage them in solving real-world problems or answering complex questions. From the word project, ibig sabihin may output o may proyekto na magagawa o matatapos. So sa approach na ito, student work extended projects that engage them in solving real-world problems or answering complex questions. So ang mga guro kailangang mag-isip ng mga activity kung saan may involvement ang bawat mag-aaral dun sa activity na ipe-prepare nila. Mga activity na pwedeng magagamit ng mga mag-aaral sa real life. So, dako naman tayo dito sa kahalagahan naman ng project-based learning. Ang una ay ang research methodology skills. Totoo yun, sa project-based learning, mahahasa yung research skills ng mga bata o ng mga students. Mahahasa yung kakayahan nilang mag-inquire o yung magtanong-tanong o yung maghanap ng mga solutions doon sa mga problems na pinapagawa sa kanila dahil na 'di ba maghahanap sila o mag-i-inquire sila kung paano nila gagawin 'yon, kung paano nila lulutasin yung problema o yung kung paano nila gagawin yung projects na binigay ng kanilang mga guro. And second, oral communication competence ay naman kay Bakar, Norden, and Raleigh 2019. Mahahasa din ang kanilang communicative competence, yung kakayahan nila sa pakikipag-communication sa iba. Tulad nga sa, diba, makikipag-usap ang mga yan sa kanilang mga kagrupo, mag-uusap-usap sila kung paano nila gagawin yung projects nila, kung paano nila gagawin yung activity nila para mapabuti or para maging creative yung gawain nila. Magkakaroon sila ng communication, kaya yun, mahahasa yung communicative competence nila. Pangatlo ay ang development of life skills ay naman kay Wordinger and Purishi 2015. Dito nga mapapractice din yung kakayahan nila sa kung paano nila a-addressin yung mga problems sa totoong life nila. Atin namang tatalakayin yung 6 na steps to implement project-based learning in the classroom. Una nga rito ay ang identification of a problem or an opportunity. Dito, ito yung process na mag-iisip yung guro ng mga activity na pwede niyang ipagawa sa mga mag-aaral which is connected naman sa kanilang pinag-aaralan o sa kanilang subjects. At sa paggawa nito, maaaring o sa pag-iisip ng activity, sa pag-iisip ng guro doon sa activity, maaaring involve niya yung mga mag-aaral. Susunod ay yung project planning. Dito, the teachers assess how the problem or opportunity connect with the standard he or she is intending to teach. Ganun. Kasama na rito yung paggawa ng rubric or yung pamantayan kung papaano nga ba dapat gawin ng mga mag-aaral yung activity na kanilang nabuo o na gagawin ng mga bata. At sa paggawa ng yung rubric, mas mabuti ring isama ng guro or involved ng guro yung mga mag-aaral para alam nila at para maramdaman nila na involved sila. At ang susunod na pangatlong steps ay yung schedule. Kailangan ding mag-set ng time or schedule yung guro sa kung kailan nila ipapasa yung project nila. Pang-apat naman ay yung monitor the progress. Yung kailangan ding i-monitor ng teacher o ng guro kung may progress na ba yung ginagawang project ng mga bata, kung may may nasimulan na ba sila or may progress na ba, para ma-ensure ng guro na kung na may matatapos yung mga bata. Kaya kailangan niyang i-monitor yung mga gawain din nila. Kumbaga, magiging facilitator siya dun sa pinapagawa rin niyang mga project dun sa mga bata. At susunod ay yung assessment. Assessment, this is the step which involve assessing the learning outcomes and participation of students. Teachers can use a rubric to record student progress and their learning outcomes. At ang pang-anim ay yung evaluate the experience. Evaluate the experience. This is the last step, which involves reflecting what worked and what didn't during the whole process. Reflecting helps teachers to improve their instructional strategies in the future. Teachers are also able to incorporate changes in their teaching strategies. Kaya kailangan din nilang mag-reflect kung ano nga ba kung meron nga bang progress ang bawat bata. Din dito naman na tayo dun sa differences of project-based learning to the other approaches. Differences begins with the assignment of tasks that will lead to the creation of a final product or artifact. The emphasis is on the product. Dito yung ang ang focus dito ay yung product na magagawa or yung output na magagawa ng mga bata. Yun naman ang kaibahan ng project-based learning dun sa ibang approaches, which is may magagawang output. Ngayon ay dako naman na tayo sa role of technology na tatalakayin ni Chiliza.
So ayan, pagkatapos talakayin ng aking mga kasama ang kahulugan, kahalagahan at iba pang mga definasyon ng iba't ibang approaches, ay akin naman talakayin ang role of technology sa kanila. So una ay ang inquiry-based learning. Inquiry-based learning is providing access to information, tools, and resources that keep students actively engaged. So ano kaya ang ibig sabihin nito? So ang role ng technology ito ay, dahil nasabi nga kanina, ang inquiry ay tungkol sa mga pagtatanong, ang role naman ng teknolohiya ay ang pagbibigay ng mga informasyon tungkol sa mga ilang katanungan na nangangailangan ng mga informasyon. Sabi nga, the Internet of the World or the World Wide Web offers lots of platforms for mining information. Ano yung mining information? Yung mining information is, sinasabi dito na ang technology daw ay naglalaman ng iba't ibang informasyon. It has become the most sought-out source of information because of the variety of tools that abound. And language is no longer a barrier in one's search for information. Sinasabi dito na hindi pati na daw ang language ay hindi na daw ito yung mga dahilan na hindi tayo makaka-inquire ng mga informations dahil nasa technology na rin na meron na siyang iba't ibang language na depending on the unit of the study. Halimbawa lamang sa providing access to informations ay halimbawa dito yung mga links of discussions na mga videos na kinukuha through online. Tapos yung mga teachers ay kinukuha nila yung link tapos sinesend sa mga students for them para magkaroon sila ng access tungkol sa kung ano man ang kanilang pinag-aaralan. Lalo nga nung time ng ating pandemic ay kadalasan ito ang ginagamit sa online class ng mga schools na nakadepende sila sa information na galing sa technology. At ang sumunod naman dito ay ang research-based learning. Increasing educational motivation, improving questioning skill, improving research spirit, and raising school marks. So, ang research-based learning ay ito yung mga Yung mga halimbawa dito is yung mga paggawa ng konektado dito yung research subject natin ng senior high and also in college. Narito na-improve yung questioning skills natin dahil ito rin ay konektado dito sa inquiry-based learning dahil parehas sila na ito yung bumubuo tayo ng mga tanong tapos tayo rin yung naghanap ng mga sagot. Na gaya rin sa inquiry, ang research-based learning din ay ang role ng technology. Technology dito ay para makapagbigay ng more informations tungkol sa mga connected topics sa mga research titles. Kumbaga dito is yung mga gumagawa ng mga research na gayang mga kagamitan natin ngayon, marami na tayong nakikitang mga equipments, ganun is, yun yung mga result ng mga research na sa pagitan ng kanilang paghanap ng mga impormasyon ay nakakabuo sila ng mga bagay-bagay na kagamit-gamit. Dito natin masasabi yung improving research spirits and also raising school marks na nabanggit ko na kanina is yung mga research subjects natin sa school. Ang sumunod naman dito na approaches ay ang problem-based learning na wherein ang role ng technology is students can utilize Web 2.0 technologies in order to search for information, access resources, communicate and collaborate with their students, peers, and teachers, as well as generally interact with their students, resources, and teachers during the PBL activities. For example, a problem-based learning project could involve students pitching ideas and creating their own business plans to solve a societal need. Students could work independently or in a group to conceptualize, design, and launch their innovative product in front of classmates and community leaders. Na ang role naman ng technology dito is there are a number of free online tools that they can use. Nasabi nga natin yung ginamit natin kaninang example ng paggawa ng mga students ng business plans nila is yung magko-conceptualize or magde-design sila. At sa pamamagitan naman ng iba't ibang free online tools ay nagagamit nila yon. Na these online tools will allow the learners to be actively connected and engaged in the group task while monitoring their own contributions. And for the last approach, project-based learning, the benefit of technology include offering greater flexibility and learning opportunities. At dito sa project-based learning, marami tayong iba't ibang project na nagagawa. At meron tayong mga tools na nagagamit dito such as those for writing, presentations, spreadsheets, calendars, organizers, and citations and other are also available to assist learners and teachers in accomplishing required tasks and outputs. Nasa paggawa natin ng mga iba't ibang projects ay nakaka-download tayo ng mga tools na pwede natin gamitin sa ating cellphones or laptops. Nabanggit na rin natin kanina sa inquiry-based learning na ang technology is a mining information, which means available information about the contract area, including all surveys, maps, mosaic, aerial photographs, electromagnetic tapes, sketches, drawings, drill cores, logs of such drill cores, and other relevant information and data. And also where project-based learning encourages critical thinking, connects a student's education to the real world, support long-term knowledge retention, and helps build lifelong curiosity and a love for learning. Na example sa project-based learning is ang paggawa natin ng sarili nating website, create your own website. Nata-challenge tayo dito na mag-conceptualize, mag-design ng sarili nating websites. And that's the role of technology from the 4 approaches.